Jason Whitlock. By the way, I was supposed to be on his show a while back, and then I guess they realized that I was not someone they were going to be able to control. They had to reschedule, of course, at the last minute. It was like, oh, we've got this, we've got to reschedule. And then I never heard from his producer again. I don't know, maybe I don't have the right skin tone, but I definitely am not someone that Jason Whitlock is going to be able to control with his conversation and his questions to direct it the way that he wants to direct it. And my boy Jason recently, he got that phone call, folks. You know, this man who loves to talk about how he speaks truth to power. He got that phone call and he's been brought to heel. He got that call, said, yo, Jason, enough's enough. We got some things we need to accomplish. You have to flip the script. Start bashing Caitlin Clark. Start bashing Caitlin Clark's fan base, for which he now calls a cult. You know, the guy who last week would call himself a member of that Caitlin Clark fan base. No, he's a cult, and he's doing the same obnoxious crap all the low IQ anti Caitlin Clark people have been doing. And he's saying really, really, really dumb stuff that we can easily check him on, easily refute. It is wild. It is wild to see people destroy themselves in this way, destroy all their credibility, completely crash and burn because they can't be honest. They can't speak truth. They got to go where they're told, say what they're told. And that is clearly what has happened to Jason Whitlock. So listen to this little rant and keep in mind, because we're going to talk about it, the dream game that the Fever just had that had Angel Reese in it, because he's going to compare Caitlin Clark to Angel Reese, and we'll get into some of the things Angel Reese did in that game. We can also go back to the video that I did recently about how dirty a player Angel Reese is, which again is from a game ago. Keep that in your mind when he says some of the things that he says about Angel Reese.
The Indiana Fever just lost another game where they scored 100-plus points. They're a bad defensive team because they have no leadership on the defensive end because their supposed leader, Caitlin Clark, doesn't care about defense.
Now, see, here we go. Jason, dude, and by the way, he follows me. I'm guessing he's going to block me soon, but I'm not going to allow this crap to stand. This is the crap that we're getting all the damn time, and I am sick of it. This is a lie, dude. You're staring into the camera and you're freaking lying. You are a liar, and you're going to tell me about being a Christian. You're no Christian, my man. You're a fake Christian because you are sitting here lying about Caitlin Clark for money. I don't know many Christians who do that. Again, the videos have been done. We've talked about it. Caitlin Clark is, in fact, one of the better defensive players on her team. So to sit here and say she doesn't care about defense is simply a lie. It is simply a lie. I don't want to lose my place with what he's saying, but I will, if I think about it, hopefully last minute, I'll throw in those couple of really good defensive plays she made against the Dream, and yet she was called for a foul. But to watch those and say she doesn't care about defense is idiotic. To watch Caitlin Clark play defense and say she doesn't care about defense is idiotic. No, they're a terrible defensive team because yeah, they have some players that aren't that great on defense, but even more so, they have a terrible, horrifically bad defensive system that do not put these players in positions to be successful. They look like a bunch of players who have no idea really what it is they're supposed to be doing defensively. But okay, so we've already started where Jason, you've completely discredited anything you're about to say with a blatant lie just so you can insult Caitlin Clark and set it up for insulting her even more. So you've lied already. That's a lie. It's a provable lie. We've proved it already about her not caring. That's a lie. So let's keep going. See what other kind of lies you got, my man.
And their supposed leader has no emotional control. And you go, well, she's young. This is only her third season.
Shut up with that baby voice, man. Don't be a child. You're supposed to be a grown-ass man. Like, what are you, like 60? Come on now. Only I get to use that voice when I mock dummies like yourself.
I'm looking at Angel Reese grow up in real time. This is only her third season.
Angel Reese growing up in real time. Okay, well, I just dropped a video yesterday about Angel Reese being the dirtiest player in the league. My man, I brought receipts. I showed that forearm elbow that she threw to Isabel Harrison's head and neck area. It's in the video, Jason. Oh, but and that's 2 games ago. We could go to the more recent game where she threw a dirty pick on Caitlin Clark, tried to knock her out. And by the way, that absolutely was a dirty play for which she should have gotten a flagrant. And then her response is after she almost knocks Caitlin Clark to the ground, for which Caitlin Clark, by the way, didn't flop at all. Yeah, she went backwards a little bit because of, physics when she had bubble butt, 6'3", 225-pound Angel Reese slam into her when she wasn't looking. And what did Angel Reese do? What was her response? She complained to the officials, Jason, and she did the whole this thing to indicate flopping. That does not sound like someone who is maturing. Throwing a forearm to Isabel Harrison's head does not seem like someone who is maturing. Oh, you want to flip it back to the Fever game that was just played again? Throwing an elbow to Sophie Cunningham's head and then complaining about the call and running over to her coach with this crap. Doesn't seem like someone who is maturing. So once again, here we go with all this stuff. We got dumbasses yapping and never bringing receipts.
Angel Reese is growing up.
Yeah, I should have let this go a little longer. I just proved that she isn't, but keep
and
going.
Conducting herself on the court more appropriately than Caitlin Clark. Those are.
Did you not hear everything I just said? Do I have to run it back again with the and the elbows and the forearms and the complaining? Really, Jason? Are you watching the games? It doesn't sound like you're watching the games. It sounds like you got the phone call and they said, here's the script we need you to read. And you're reading the script.
Are facts. Those of you in the Caitlin cult, rather than making
Bite me, jackass.
Excuses, rather than constantly, they're not officiating her properly. The whole world's against her. Don't you see there's systemic anti-Caitlinism?
Lose some weight, dude.
No, that was year 1. Maybe a tiny part of year 2, but she only played 13 games. But I'm telling these players, they don't care about Caitlin Clark at this point. There's no one out there expressing real animus towards Caitlin Clark. You know why? Because they don't fear Caitlin Clark at this point. They figured her out. The Indiana Fever just lost.
Here we go with the absolute lies. You can look at Caitlin Clark's numbers despite everything that's been going on. Yeah, they absolutely fear her. You can look at how they're guarding her, little J. They absolutely fear her. This entire spiel was gibberish, completely devoid of facts, logic, and reason. That baby voice should probably be directed at you, my friend, because there is nothing in this little segment that is true. Nothing in this little segment that is true. But by the way, and I could go through a ton of them, and I just gave you some Angel Reese examples, but I want to take a look at a couple of quick clips for Jay's here and see if maybe he's talked about this or if maybe he wants to talk about this. Let's take a look at Asia Wilson, face of the league, 4-time MVP, been playing, what is she in, like her 8th year or something like that? She is going to have a lot of emotional maturity. She also has the best whistle in the game. So here's someone who has zero reason to ever complain about anything. She got the call. She's yapping. Jason, she's yapping, Jason. She's yapping at the official. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. She walked away and she turned around and she's yapping again. Oh my God. This is horrible. Asia Wilson has been fouled and she got the foul call. And oh my gosh, this is horrible. And she's yapping at the official, and then she walks away, and then she turns around and she yaps at the official again. This is shocking. This is simply shocking. I am shaking right now, Jason. I cannot wait for your in-depth think piece about the lack of emotional maturity from Asia Wilson, the lack of leadership skill from Asia Wilson. I swear, it's like a competitive professional athlete has never ever questioned an official's call until Caitlin Clark got into the league, and it is apparently this huge no-no. It wasn't a huge no-no when no one worked the officials like Jordan, Kobe. Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on LeBron James. But sure, guys, let's yap about Caitlin Clark because it's clearly a Caitlin Clark problem. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Now we've got longtime veteran Natasha Cloud. She's been in the league like 27 years. So you know she is going to show leadership and emotional maturity when she doesn't get a call she thinks she should get, or, a call goes against her that she thinks shouldn't. Oh my. Oh my. This is again once again shocking video footage. Because my understanding is that the only person who ever dares to question anything from an official is Caitlin Clark. Like, y'all, can you link in the comments below to all the think pieces about players like Asia Wilson and Natasha Cloud, and of course we could Marina Mabrey is another one. Skylar Diggins is another one. Just link to all these think pieces about what terrible, terrible, immature non-leaders that they are for this type of behavior. I would really, really be interested in reading them, in seeing them, because I think it's very important because clearly this is an epidemic in this league. No, I'm never going to get on Jason's show now, am I? I wonder how long it's going to go before he goes from following me to blocking me. But look, man, I'm sorry, but I got to call out nonsense. And this is the type of nonsense that pissed me off. And this is the type of nonsense that becomes the narrative everywhere, even for the general public. The people who they know who Caitlin Clark is, but maybe they're not those fans and everything. And then this is all the stuff they hear. Of course, they're going to be turned off by Caitlin Clark. And by the way, that hurts the entire WNBA because those people who know of her and they're hearing good things, it's like how it all started in Iowa, right? Maybe eventually they check it out and they see the Caitlin Clark that we all know can play the game, and then they become fans. But they're eliminating that possibility now with stuff like this. And Jason, obviously, he got the phone call. He's been brought to heel. He's like, no, man, you got to switch it up. You got to start going after Caitlin Clark and her fans. And Jason said, yes, sir, I'm on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.